if you're ready, we'll start with the call them the success questions. So we'd love to hear about your successes, which success is, of course, born from both success and failure. So,
Oh
yeah,
been there.
yeah, I'm still failing a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
working on that success. So anyway, Nick, if you want to kick it off.
Yeah, so our favorite question and icebreaker is to ask for the funniest story you have from your service, which I believe we were reading you were in the Marines, correct?
Yes. This one has been tough. I've been really sitting and trying to figure this out. Like,
Good, we
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah, I've got like stupid ones where we were on ship because I was on the 15th MU out of excuse me, out of Camp Pendleton, and we were actually in Australia on 9/11. So we got shipped up to the Middle East. But when we were out doing night ops and stuff on the carrier, I worked on Hueys and Cobras and flew in the Hueys and stuff. So at night we would go out on the flight deck and like run as fast as we could and jump into the air, and the wind would push us past the flight officers where the night watch is, and they would be like, "What the hell?" Because you would just see a body fly past the deck. Or we would like go and lean off the front of the ship and the wind would keep us elevated and stuff. So we stupid stuff like that.
That is the definition of the saying that I tell people all the time: is there's nothing more dangerous than a bored soldier.
Yep.
That is the epitome of that statement.
I mean, when I was up in Iraq and stuff, when they would clear out the minefields, like I said, we were in there. So we were in Afghanistan in 2001, and then we were on the invasion into Iraq.
So you were there? Were you there in the south with Mattis then? Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I met General Mattis on the MEU when we were heading into the Middle East after 9/11. General Mattis came on the ship. He was a brigadier then, and so I met him, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, he's a bad man. But so they would rope off certain things that were like uncleared minefields, and I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but we would be bored, and so we would throw rocks and shit into the minefields, just to see if things would blow up. But yeah, so there's all kinds of little stuff like that. We had a pet scorpion that we would put in a box. We kept him. His name was Tang after the orange drink that was like gold over there. So we had a little pet scorpion, and we would put little things in there like camel spiders and stuff, and he would jack those things up. I hate camel spiders, but the scorpion would mess them up pretty good. So I mean, stupid stuff like that, or just teaching the nuggets like if you shake the back of a Huey where the 45-degree angle is, it's like an little oil reservoir, and it makes noise. So we would make the new guys go out there and shake it, and it would make noise, and they'd be like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, I gotta get some oil for the fallopian tubes. Go to airframes and get some." So we'd send them over to airframes, and then they would get, then they'd get not hazed. Then they would get brought into the system because, the new guys would always get
rite of passage.
Treated right. Go get me like 20 yards of flight line or something like that. So just little stuff like that.
That is excellent. That is good. Well, we did one I brought because I learned it from I sold cars years ago. 10 years ago. That's crazy. Anyway, so one I brought to our unit from that is the basement key. And like there wasn't a basement. And so that's like my favorite is screwing with officers, but I do it to other people too. But then you gotta, like you said, everybody's in on it. So you're like, hey, I need you to go to Sergeant Cox and get the basement key. And like some new private or your LT is like, oh, okay. And so they go, and he's like, you know what? I gave it to Top. Go to First Sergeant, get it.
Oh God.
And then they go there, and then Top's like, yeah, I gave it to Sergeant Marshall. You need to go see him. And then they go to Marshall, and he's like, I gave it back to Top. And so then they go back to First Sergeant. And then, they just bounce him around the building.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Of course, listeners are like, so taxpayer dollars being spent on.
Right.
Okay.
This is our future.
Yeah, exactly. This is how we protect the country.
Yep. Sending them out for the ID 10T form.
Yep. Pricky 7.
Yeah, I was just about to say that one.
Yeah, go get me a Pricky 7.
Because all the E7s would keep sending them to each other. So they were just...
Excellent.
The good times. I noticed the longer I was out, I remembered the good times, but not the million reasons why I got the heck out of there.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that is kind of a hard part because he's fully out and I'm still in reserve. And so he's like, I miss it every once in a while. And I'm like, no, stay away.
Far away.
Stay away.
It keeps me grounded.
Yeah, exactly. I make sure I bitch a lot about
There you go.
Mystery Weekend.
Oh, there actually is a funny thing. So, just to like another stupid story, but when I was in boot camp, well, obviously we all know like you didn't have like stalls in the heads.
Mm-hmm.
So, you'd always run in there and you got like 2 minutes and you always got that jackass that's going to drop a deuce and you're like, dude, you ain't got time.
Yeah.
So we all run back online. We're standing there and, Dingbat's not out there online. So DI goes in there and he's sitting on the toilet, So he makes the entire platoon go into the head and get stuck in that stall with him. There were dudes sitting on his lap. There were guys hanging off the back of the toilet. Like there was 48 of us in this little stall because the recruit wanted to take a deuce. And, the DI had to have his campaign covered out because you couldn't see him laughing. But, I used to mess with us, or, this recruit requests to get his bore punched. And he's like, got to go to medical for that one, because you're cleaning his rifle. And so, yeah, there were good times too about that stuff.
I like it. So tell us, especially for people who didn't listen to the previous episode, tell us who you are and what you do.
So my name is Michael McGowan. I'm a former Marine and I do veteran outreach. I'm the veteran outreach manager for Valley Hope Addiction and Treatment Centers.
Awesome.
And then the next thing we like to ask is what were some of the most important veteran benefits that you used in your path to kind of where you are now? Maybe it was, I don't know if you used Valley Hope or, it could be anything, VA home loan, stuff like that.
My luckiest, not my luckiest, but my best thing was Vogue Rehab. Vogue Rehab really helped me because I got out of the military, bounced around, didn't really do much. Things started to happen in the head with the mental health. So I kind of started to get into that, needing assistance, went to the vet center, started getting treatment there, got my disability rating, got all that taken care of, and I became eligible for Vogue Rehab. And because of Vogue Rehab, I was able to go to school. They helped for all my books, they helped pay for some of my food and rent and all that. And so I was able to go through college and get a bachelor's degree thanks to Vogue Rehab. So I really push people that if that opportunity is there, take it. The money is there, take it and use it. And then the big thing for me was leveraging the community care network. Because before I actually moved here, I've been here about 2 years. I didn't even know anything about the community care network. So thank goodness for that. I can go out into the community and get my mental health assistance and, and my medicine and everything. So that all really helps me out a lot too.
Yeah. I like how you said that the money's there. We talked with Lindsay on one of our previous episodes, and she was saying how, some people think that they're taking away from other veterans or, when they are utilizing some of these things, but that's not the case. So I like that you said that.
Yeah, the thing I actually learned is when it comes to money and the VA is they will pay. Whether they, write too many checks and they don't have enough money, the government will get them money. Like they always will ensure that the VA's bills are paid. So yes, I always tell them like, you may not think you rate it, go for it. Like you've earned all this stuff. If there's any issues that you don't think are a big deal, tell them, get it documented, get everything documented because you've earned it and you deserve it. And the VA will pay for it.
All right. Yep. Can never say that too much. I always think of it as sometimes we re-hit on subjects. Part of that's because everything overlaps, which is good. But the other thing is, people aren't listening to every episode, and also people that are, again, just cannot stress some of this stuff enough about getting help and don't worrying about the money. The money is there. People will get it. Just take care of you.
Yes.
So another question this is another one we stress and hit on a lot. Sometimes we get a new answer. Sometimes we get same answers. But again, some stuff you just can't say enough. What are some soft skills that you got from the military that you're still using today?
Ooh. Teamwork, adaptability, communication, integrity, dependability. Actually learned time management. Trust, because I mean, I've some of my best friends and closest brothers are guys that I served with. So just that, I mean, just that was I mean, trust with them, but yeah, just that brotherhood, that love, those were a lot of the big things I would think were most important.
Yeah, definitely. Time management is one we talk about a lot, and that's because a lot of guys get out of the military, and then, obviously a plumber is going to have skills to carry over, but then you've got, somebody who's not that, and they were like infantry or,
Right.
like our job is explosives. Like there's not a lot of outlets for
for
that. so then like too many guys think like, oh, I've got nothing to offer the civilian world. And it's like, we actually do. You have a lot. And another statistic I like a lot is, and I learned this at Yellow Ribbon before we deployed, was if you take, someone with an MBA and somebody with military experience, and they both start a business at the same time, the odds are in the favor of the veteran.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, there's just stuff hammered into our head.
And people love to see that. Like they're like, okay, well, I know that you've proven yourself and you're dedicated and you're going to do your job. So yeah, I think that is a huge selling point, because it did teach us that. Another one is I definitely learned not to walk on grass. Yeah, I still don't walk on grass. I will take the long way around still, and I'm like, damn it, I just can't even do it. Like
I don't either. And I was raised that way, but then also like, the military definitely just kind of reinforcing that. It's like my wife will walk across, it's like good friends of ours. She will walk across their lawn to get to the front door, and I'm going around. She's just like, don't do it.
Get off first sergeant's grass.
Yeah. I'm like, honey, first sergeant's gonna yell at you.
So this next one we like to ask, for our listeners that are either thinking about joining or just kind of starting out, if you were to go back to when you first started out, what advice would you give to yourself?
As now that I'm older, my biggest thing would be to get everything documented. I mean, no matter how minuscule you think it is, find someone that works with like the somatic type of therapy for veterans, because that's just a new way of thinking and stuff, and it just teaches you to listen to your body and understand your body. There are more things than talk therapy. There's the mental health screenings. You need assistance with sobriety, slow down, which I still am trying to figure out. Slow down, not to be so hyper vigilant when you get out. You're safe now. Just take advantage of all the options that are out there for you.
That's a good one. I don't think we've heard that one either, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
So now getting into some real stuff, what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced, and what were some instrumental things in overcoming them, whether it was someone else's leadership or guidance or things you found within yourself, resources, all that kind of stuff?
My biggest challenge was integrating back into civilian life. Like, I'm still working on it, and believing in your support system, relying on that support system. It's there, and other veterans like those like cool stories are always like, there'd be days I'd be sitting Chick-fil-A or Arby's or whatever, and I'll have like, a Marine shirt or hat, and some old timer will walk by and grunt at me, and I'll growl at him, and we'll have a whole conversation and won't say a word. But yeah, it's just, if it's those guys are out there, we will always have each other's back. I go to like the Vietnam Vets of America every couple of weeks and just check in with those guys, because they're great and they've got good stories. And sadly, that generation is starting to disappear too. So, I like to get people out there and say, hey man, talk to the old vets. They've got stories, they've got advice stuff. But yeah. My hardest thing was transitioning back, being calm, being safe, understanding that is an option, is you're safe. So
do you what would advice was there anything you held on to, or was there any kind of saying that you thought of, or any kind of advice you heard from somebody else, kind of an idea that you hung on to, or was it just day by day you would okay, now this is an issue. I need to get help with this. Does that make sense? I may not have articulated that very well.
As I've aged and gotten older, I've gotten advice from a lot of the older generational vets and stuff. So, but when I first got out and when I was younger, we were just all lost in the sauce, I guess was the biggest thing to put. So, just remember you're not alone, and just you're not alone. There's somebody out there. Just shoot. Man, just reach out, I guess is the best thing to put it. Like, I mean, there's cool things where, like, I got my buddies that I served with, and we could go a year or two without talking, but we'll pick up the phone and right there we've got each other's back. Like, it's just, there's just that connection, that brotherhood, sisterhood. But I mean, yeah, that advice, that's a tough one. Just take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself, and yeah. Sorry, yeah, that's a tough one.
I get it. I probably should have given like an example. So like, I don't use it so much now, but like when I was deployed, one I told my wife, but I also would think about is like, there is a clock ticking. Like, the deployment is going to be X amount of days. Even if you get extended, it'll be X amount of days. So just focus on day to day. Make sure I'm doing things correctly, because when that clock is done, I'm home. So just little idea stuff like that. Or another one is advice I got before I was even in the military was, don't focus on making it the end of the day. Focus on the next water break. So that kind of
next meal. I would always focus on the next meal.
Yeah,
I was gonna get.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I like food.
Those are
great. I should have explained. Better. I'm sorry. I was like,
you're right. Like, that was always a thing. Is the meal. Just make it to the next one, man. Don't make it so far and so hard and so long you'll never get there. But yeah, just short steps, baby step it for right now. Yeah. I like those. And I mean, there's always was that Iron Man thing is the one thing I always wish I couldn't. Always thing I always wanted was time, or what was it? You can never buy enough time or something. But as I've gotten older, I've really realized that, like, I'm gonna enjoy it. I plan and save for the future, but at the same time, man, I want to enjoy life. I want to be happy. So I think people really need to do that. It's we've got one shot at it, so enjoy it, love it, live it.
Yeah, like you said, just slowing down, like, because I feel like sometimes we look too far in the future, and then that can kind of cause so much stress, because when you aren't focusing on like what's in front of you, then it can be really overwhelming.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think therapy, whether it's, equine, canine, art, music, like, reach out to those kind of avenues, because it's amazing what good that'll do. Like, just little simple things like that can make a huge difference in your life. So just, and don't wait.
Yeah.
I feel old now.
Yeah, it's good. I embrace it. Embrace it. I'm
gonna be that guy escorting kids with my hose, man. Get off my yard.
Oh yeah. My daughter asked me the other day what racket was, because I'm always like, hey, knock off all that racket. Mainly she got a little brother that's younger, so he'll be napping or go to bed, or they go to bed an hour apart, and I'll be like, hey, knock off making all that racket. I guess she's only heard it in context. She was like, what's racket? I'm like, well, it's a thing you can hit balls with, like in tennis, but it's also just basically means a bunch of noise. Knock it off.
It's a ruckus.
I got all the words. Yeah. I'm like, and what's funny in like our family is I may have slipped once, if ever, with a swear word, but like away from kids, I by far swear. Like, I'll be a drill and use the C word 5 times, and then I come home and I'm like, perfect, in front of my kids, and then someone else in the family drops them. I'm like, hey, come on.
Yeah. You learn real quick that you're not PC around other vets and stuff too, man.
Yeah,
we'll bring up stuff that I talk about. I'm like, I can never say this in public. Like, like, but man, good old times.
You bring it up and everything just gets really quiet.
Yeah.
You're just like,
crickets.
Like, all right.
The record screeches to a halt.
Yeah. You're like trying to add to a conversation. You think it applies, which it kind of does, but not everyone else is on your same page. So like, yeah,
right, yeah.
I definitely made the table go quiet at Christmas one time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's not funny to you guys? That's not,
Funny, haha,
funny?
come on.
Yeah.
This would have the whole company laughing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd be killing. Oh
man, we actually like just stupid things. But when we were in boot camp, we were getting mail call, and somebody sent his buddy a condom. Ooh, he got smoked for that one because the DI was like going around the letter, and he's like, "Open that up." And he pulled a condom out, man, and he got smoked. So that was pretty funny. A little motivation for him.
I sent a buddy a letter one time. He was in OCS, and I sent him a letter under the assumption that it would be read out loud, whether it was by him or instructor. So I wrote it, and basically I probably have it saved somewhere. I can look up what I wrote, but part of it was like basically making whoever was saying it out loud just say things that they wouldn't want to say, and part of it was like, you know, trashing instructors and stuff. And then so he got it, but he was like unaccompanied when he read it. So he went and showed his instructors because it's hilarious, and they made him read it in front of everybody. And then afterward, they were like, let's guess. That's the guy that wrote that is a specialist, and he's been a specialist a long time. And he was like, yes, totally accurate. That's exactly what it was.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I don't have anything additional. It's been absolutely awesome talking to you, and we always leave the door open for future interviews, follow-ups, things like that. So really glad we got this together again. Appreciate you bearing with us as we
oh no, thank you, gents. I truly appreciate that. Like,
yeah, it's really nice.
This is fantastic. You too, man. I just appreciate this, guys, and I appreciate what you do. I think this is fantastic. Like, all right, brothers.
Have a good one.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
We thank you for listening, and we hope you got something helpful out of this.
Right now, the best way to support us is to simply spread the word. If you know a fellow veteran who could use some resources to elevate their life, send them our way.
Until next time, remember to check your 0s, 5s, 10s, and 25s.